John Beauty Rush, he steps out of the races for the first time on Wednesday night. That most recent trial on the dirt looked impressive.
Yeah, his trials have been okay. He's done his track work fine. He seems like everything's in order with him, and it's time to go to the races.
New horse for your stable. What's he like, John?
Well, obviously, I'm learning about the horse as a work in progress. I don't know much about him at this point, but we've got to start racing him, and then he'll tell us what to do.
1,000 metres at Happy Valley. Wins looking at his Australian form were over a bit further. Do you think this could be a bit sharp for him first up?
Yeah, they could be, but quick for him. He's going right-handed for the first time and on a tight track. Wouldn't think he'd have the speed to go with the leaders. He'll have to follow the horses around, and he'd probably finish the race off quite soundly. But it'll be quite an eye-opener for him. For the PPs going to Happy Valley, they normally get a few surprises.
Zach Smart of Youth has his first start on Wednesday night. You rode him in a recent trial, also a gallop down the back straight here at Sha Tin. What sort of impression has he given you?
Yeah, he's a pretty laid-back customer. He seems to take everything in his stride, and nothing seems to faze him, which I hope is going to be a good thing going to Happy Valley for the first time. It's never easy for a young horse, but I feel he's probably got the right character to be able to deal with it.
In that trial, he went forward. Is that the way you'd like to ride him on race night?
It's always nice if you've got a horse that can show a little bit of speed, but I don't really know where he's going to be in the run. I haven't looked at the field yet, but I'll just work it out when he jumps, and I'll let him tell me where he wants to be.
But as far as that trial goes, were you happy with the way that he felt his action over those sort of things?
Yeah, he's on a familiar track for him. He goes around there every morning, so he knew where he was going. He cruised around, he enjoyed himself.
Reliable team, Zach. 2 good wins last season. What are your expectations with him for Wednesday night?
I don't think he's got to his proper distance yet. He's always given the impression that he's going to be a miler. He was able to get away with a win at this distance in a lower grade early on in his career, but now that he's gone up in grade and he's still at the same distance, he might just find it a little bit sharp for him. As he gave the impression in his trial, he was off the bit all the way and really struggled to go with the tempo. But as we've seen last time, he was struggling early in his prep with the tempo, and then once he was a little bit fitter, he was a bit more explosive. So it's not going to be easy for him with the big weight in the grade first time out this season. We just hope that he can begin well and have himself in a spot where he can be ready to strike.
He's gone from being a 3-year-old to a 4-year-old. Has he matured over the last few months, or was he always a pretty professional type?
He's always been fairly professional. He's not the type horse that gets on the bit and travels strongly, because he's not at his right distance. He's struggling with the tempo of the races, but he's a lightly framed horse. There's not a huge amount on him. He hasn't matured a lot. We just want to get him back in the system and going through his gears and take every race as it comes.
Hasn't had much luck with barrier draws, and that's continued Wednesday night, another awkward gate.
Yeah, he's been up against it right from the start, really. But his class has got him through, and hopefully it can again.
Karis BLITZING, you won on him 3 times last season. He went from 48 to 75 in the ratings. Has he still got more to offer, this horse?
Yeah, of course he's done all his work last season and he's done very well. It would be nice for him to sort of get back in the winner's enclosure. He's got a nice form behind him, and he's sort of holding his condition good. So it's not like it's going to be a surprise if he wins again.
Were you happy with his trial leading into this race?
Yeah, he actually don't like the track, the all weather too much. So he just roll around and it's just to get him ready for a race. When he gets to the Happy Valley track, then he bring his A game. So we're looking forward for him to be on the track again.
We saw in that trial you settled off the pace. We've also seen him effective up on the speed. Looking at Wednesday night's race, where would you like to ride him?
Yeah, like I just mentioned now, he don't normally show it a lot in the trial, so I had to leave him where he was comfortable and let him sort of feel good about himself coming off the trial. He's got a good draw. He does have a lot of speed, but there is a few horses with some speed in the race. So, of course, I would like to let him get a position, and of course if there's a few fast one, maybe just we have to decide to take a seat. But I normally ride him wherever he's comfortable. We got the draw, so that's a big advantage, and I'm sure he's gonna run well.